Before Skrilla made 6-7 into one of the biggest tracks on TikTok, 6-7 was a UK drill crew who took the violence in London to a brutal new level. And today, we're breaking down how they sparked one of the deadliest wars in the rap game. The south side of London is one of the deadliest places in the world, and in 2013, a crew from Brixton called 150 dropped a track called It's Crackin'. Back then, Chicago rappers had already been blowing up and talking about real violence in the booth, but it took a couple of years before street rappers in London hopped on the wave. 150 and 6-7 had already been at war, but 2013 is when they started airing it out in the booth. It's Crackin' sounded like a classic Chicago drill beat that Chief Keef used to hop on, and 150 was dissing 6-7 with lines like, "Too many ops get that Makarov," about 6-7 youths in the blackest box. "Big spliff got my head back spun. That's a big myth. You get your friend red rum. Got that big clip, yeah, the extended one." And they say I trap, rap, and just backstrapping some pistol backing. Fuck the ops. We be on your block with anything that's clapping. I'll be on 6-7 with them Notre boys. One of the 150 rappers dissing 6-7 was a dude named M Dog. M Dog has been active for years and survived getting shot when he was younger, but 6-7 said he was capping for clout and didn't put any work in. After 150 dissed him on It's Crackin', 6-7 dissed him right back on the same beat and rapped, "You talking shanks? Pussy nigga, I walk with straps. Got a 4-4 and a fucking Mac. Let me make it clear, I don't fuck with rap. I love my nigga cause it's Dottie Shack. He ain't done shit for like 6 years. Now the fuckboy talking tough on tracks." The war between 6-7 and 150 was really about to pop off, but what's crazy about the situation is that they had all been cool just a couple of years earlier. 150 and 6-7's hoods were right next to each other, and they were cool for a long time. Back in the day, 150 was called Gas Gang, and they were beefing with a crew called TN1. TN1 and 6-7 were cool though, and the war with 150 sparked up because Gas Gang murdered a TN1 affiliate named Zach. Zach was walking to school when some Gas Gang affiliates spotted him on the street and ran him down. Zach tried to run away, but Gas Gang caught up to him and brutally stabbed him to death. Zach had been kicked out of normal school and was trying to get away from the drama in the streets, but that's not how it worked out. 5 Gas Gang affiliates went down for the murder, and one of them was a rapper from the crew named JJ. JJ had his hood up during the hit to try and hide his face, but the cops were actually able to identify him on camera because his nose was poking out of the hood. Gas Gang killing Zach is what sparked the beef with 6-7, and then a year later, another body allegedly got dropped by Gas Gang. A dude named Ziggy who was cool with TN1 and 6-7 got shot in the head and was bleeding out. Medics rode up to the scene and were trying to save his life, but then the shooter started busting shots at the medics and they had to leave Ziggy laying on the ground. And by the time the shooting was over and the medics came back to help Ziggy, it was too late to save him. 2 people had already died back to back from the beef. Then 6-7 stamped it in the booth when a 6-7 member named Scribs dropped a Gas Gang diss track called Really in the Field. That's when both sides started sending shots in the booth, but the beef was about to take a brutal turn. 150 Gas Gang had a rapper in the crew named Squirrel, aka SQ, who was starting to get more active in the booth. SQ had been trying to make legit money and was looking for a job, but in 2014, he was driving through his hood and saw his homie Laughter getting chased by a dude from 6-7 named Squincy. Squincy was putting in a lot of work for 6-7, and the first time drill fans heard of him was when he hopped on a mixtape from 2 6-7 rappers named Scribs and Dimsy. Squincy was in prison and recorded Escape for them on a jail phone.
Old type, my new part G's, OJ, OSG, get man down, get me, real nigga shit.
And then he came home and started hunting the ops again. Squincy slid into 150's hood and was chasing SQ's homie Laughter, and that's when SQ hopped out of his whip to save Laughter. SQ was going to college and wanted to leave the trenches behind, but Squincy stabbed him in the leg and the chest. An ambulance rolled up and tried to save SQ's life, but he had already lost too much blood and ended up dying a couple days later in the hospital. Squincy got booked on a manslaughter charge and was sentenced to 12 years. But the war between 6-7 and 150 was just getting started. 6-7 started dissing SQ like crazy, like on the track Skangman, when a 6-7 rapper named LD said, "Run a boy down like I'm SQ, hit him in his back and his chest too, smoking on pistol and SQ, and I've got enough for the crew." So 150 clapped back on the same beat, and Grizzy dissed Zach and raps, "Can't see a man on the street, but they doing all that rap. Most of them man them are neeks. Should've stayed in school like Zach." 6-7 was really starting to pop off in the drill scene, and a rapper from the crew named Scribs was the face of the gang. But after SQ got killed, Scribs caught a couple of cases and the police banned him from dropping any more drill tracks. Scribbs didn't let that slow him down though. After the cops banned him from music, he just changed his name to LD and started blowing up even more. He dropped a track called Live Corn that ran up crazy numbers and had everyone talking about 6'7". Before that track, London Drill wasn't even close to hitting the mainstream. LD put the whole scene on the map though, and in 2016, the whole 6'7 crew was nominated for Best Newcomer at the MOBO Awards. 150 was falling off behind 6'7's numbers in the rap game, but that started to change when a dude from 150 named M24 hopped in the booth. M24 hopped on a track with Skangdo and AM, who are two rappers who have ties to another set called 410. Skangdo and AM had a lot of momentum in the drill scene, and 410 was known for some of the most brutal murders in the city. They were beefing heavy with the Harlem Spartans back before the Harlem Spartans and Moscow 17 started beefing, and rumors said that Moscow 17 and the Harlem Spartans got one of their affiliates brutally killed when they tried to side on 410. A dude named Last from the Harlem Spartans rode out with a Moscow affiliate named Mimes, and according to rumors, they went sliding on 410. Last was riding on the back of Mimes' moped holding a gun, and he tried to shoot some ops who were sitting in the car. Last's gun jammed though, and then the ops pulled him into the backseat of their whip and stabbed him to death. 410 were allegedly the ones who killed Lats, and Skangdo and AM were dissing the Harlem Spartans so much that they ended up getting arrested for it. M24 got a lot of buzz on his name when he linked up with Skangdo and AM in the booth, and around the same time, 6'7 took another loss in the streets. 6'7's beef with 150 was making a lot of headlines, but 6'7 also had a crazy beef with a crew called Claptown, aka CT, and in 2019, a 6'7 member named Leaks and his 40-year-old brother Gavin were driving through CT's hood and got spotted by the ops. The CT dude started chasing Leaks and Gavin, and that's when Gavin crashed his whip into a traffic light. Gavin didn't have any gang ties and didn't even know what was going on, but before he can get out of the whip, the CT goons ran up and stabbed him to death through his car window. 6'7 and CT were sliding like crazy, and a dude from 6'7 named Giant stabbed a CT affiliate named Stomps. That same year, another CT member named S1 was stabbed to death, and rumors say that 6'7 was behind the hit. 6'7 was stabbing a lot of their ops that year, but they also allegedly shot and killed an op named Reckless. Reckless repped a set called Up Top, aka UTH, and they were locked in with 150. 6'7 was tearing the streets up like crazy, but almost the whole crew was about to get taken down by the cops. 6'7 was running cocaine all over London, and in 2019, the cops booked 16 members when they busted the operation. LD was 6'7's biggest rapper, and they took a big loss when he got caught up in the investigation. 150 was keeping the momentum up in the rap game, and it looked like 6'7 was about to fall off completely. But then another set called Rupal Park, aka RP, fell apart, and a lot of their members started putting on for 6'7. Not everybody from RP was rocking with 6'7 though. Grizzy reps UTH and 150, but he actually came up in Rupal Park. And according to rumors, some TN1 goons robbed Grizzy and put hands on him, so he switched sides and started repping 150 and UTH. 6'7 also started going by different names like Jump Out Gang, aka JOG, and Search and Destroy, aka SAD. And after LD and a bunch of other 6'7 rappers got booked for drug and gun charges, a new generation of 6'7 rappers took over. VD and Dopey were both from RP and started putting on for 6'7 in the booth. Their tracks were running up big numbers, but then they caught a brutal murder case when they killed a dude named Lil D. Lil D repped a set called LG8, and LG8 didn't have any beef with 6'7. It's not clear why VD and Dopey wanted Lil D out of the way, but rumors say it was a personal beef that turned deadly, and they killed him outside of a KFC. VD and Dopey both got booked for the case, but Dopey beat the charges. VD went down for it though, and they were about to take another brutal loss. 6'7's cool with another crew called Team Raw, and in 2020, a Team Raw member named 16 Shots tried to side on 150, and it turned into one of the most violent murders in London drill. 16 Shots and two of his homies loaded up in a stolen whip and went out looking for ops. They spotted an op on Wandsworth Road and tried to chase him down, but that dude ran off, so 16 Shots and his homies kept driving around looking for more ops. At the same time, a 150 rapper named Styx was having his birthday party in the same area, so 16 Shots and his homies decided to slide on Styx and take him out. It's not clear exactly how it happened, but 16 Shots and his homies pulled up to the party and ended up flipping their whip. 16 Shots' homies ran off after they crashed, but 16 Shots crawled out of the whip and ran straight at Styx with a knife. He stabbed Styx a few times, But there were a ton of 150 affiliates around, and they started chasing 16 shots down the block. There were at least 15 dudes chasing 16 shots, and at some point he fell down, and 150 started stabbing him. By the time they were finished, 16 shots had been stabbed over 30 times, and one of the 150 members left a knife in his skull. And on the same day that Sticks got stabbed and his homies killed 16 shots, Sticks hopped on IG and clowned him for getting murdered. A couple of 150 affiliates went down for killing 16 shots, but the violence didn't stop there. And a month after 16 shots got killed, Team Raw lost another member when Capalot got killed. 6-7's beef with CT was still going on too, and in 2022, CT lost one of their biggest members to the war. Perm was the most popular rapper in CT and had been putting on for the set for years. Perm was also really tight with Sticks and a lot of other 150 members. But in 2022, the Opps caught Perm in traffic and started chasing them down. Perm started driving like crazy trying to get away, and in the middle of the chase, he tragically hit an innocent delivery driver who was riding a bike and killed him. Running over the delivery driver made Perm crash the whip, so he hopped out on foot and tried to get away. The shooters were already on top of him though, and they left Perm dead in the street. And not long after that, 150 took another loss when a dude from the set named Skangroy was allegedly killed by a set called Ciroc. Ciroc and 150 used to be cool back in the day, but snitching rumors allegedly sparked a beef, and Skangroy allegedly got killed over it. The London drill scene started changing, and 150 and 6-7 aren't on top anymore, but they're still dissing and dropping bodies. In 2025, 6-7 was shooting a video in CT and UTH territory. They were trying to prove the Opps wouldn't do anything to them, but then the situation took a brutal turn. Less than a day after 6-7 went on the Opps block to shoot the video, 3 hitters rolled up on a 6-7 member named Kaz and killed him. According to rumors, CT, UTH, and 150 all linked up for the hit on Kaz, and some people think it was get back for Perm's murder a few years ago. The beef definitely isn't over, but it's been slowing down because so many members have been locked up or killed. And now, 150 is dealing with some internal drama too, and there's no telling how that's gonna shake out. M24 was really putting on for 150 in the drill scene, but another dude from the block named JM aired him out for not showing love to the hood. According to JM, M24 isn't holding it down for the members who really got active and ended up in prison, and rumors say JM actually chased M24 off the block. That wasn't the first time that JM has had beef with his homies though. A few years before he started beefing with M24, JM got shot and barely made it out alive. Then a couple weeks later, he hopped on Snapchat and aired out 150 for not sliding for him. Nobody's been killed over the internal beef in 150 yet, but it's probably only a matter of time before 6-7 slides on him again to get back for Kaz. They've been going to war for over a decade now, and it doesn't look like the killing is gonna stop anytime soon.